Hi, good morning everyone. As you expected, so phase 2, part 2, and you're probably waiting for this, which was the workout video. And can't stress this enough, resistance training is essential. So I'm not even going to speak about cardio right now because cardio is important. I'm not saying cardio is unimportant. You need that for cardiovascular health. You need that to, melt away the excess, let's say, fat over like the muscles and so forth. And it's very important overall for me when it comes to cardio and also your mobility. So we all know that's important. We all know I would suggest 15 minutes minimum to, an hour a day or every other day, depending on your schedule. So I'm going to put that aside right now because my focus for these videos, as I want to specify again, is not about weight loss. It's not about those other goals. The focus is on menstruation regularity. How can you keep your menstruation regular? You may have noticed I have not been really losing further weight or anything because I haven't really focused on the weight loss yet. That's my goal for 2016. It's arrived. I'm going to work on it. I'm still working out a schedule for myself in that way. But my goal has been I've been so excited that I've been able to be regular that I'm just kind of keeping with what I know. But I will be increasing my workout for weight loss. But again, this is about menstruation regularity. What is the minimum you should be doing? Resistance training is essential. Resistance training not only builds muscle, it also burns fat. So when you're doing cardio workouts, you're only burning when you're doing the cardio workout. So that calorie was burnt on that treadmill. That calorie was burnt, walking, or whatever you were doing. But with resistance training, what I love about it is you're breaking that muscle, and the muscle is rebuilding. While it's rebuilding, it's burning. So you're burning through the day. The metabolism is actually increased further along through the day. So it's almost like having a caffeine high and is lasting you for a little longer. And this is the thing with resistance training. You do it, and there's a little bit of a high in terms of metabolism is pumped up, and you're burning through the day. So it's heated. Your body is heated, and that's essential. And in terms of heating the body too, cardio takes longer to actually give you that sweat and that heat. With resistance training, it's almost immediate, and generally, for me, it is. Now, the key thing to resistance training or weightlifting, you can call it as well, is you need to lift where you're challenged. So for those of you who don't want to lift more than a comfortable weight that you're at, let's say 5 pounds or something, make sure you do reps that are longer. So as opposed to doing, let's say, 3 sets of 10 reps each, you may want to do 5 or something, or just maybe do some moves of squatting in between and working out with cardio, because you want to make sure that you're challenged in the lift. I personally, prior to my PCOS, and some of you may have already heard the story, is prior to my PCOS, I was quite athletic, and I was into weightlifting and so forth. And I have to thank that past for weightlifting, because when I gained this ton of weight, I didn't look as big, because what I believe is the muscle that was built prior to that whole insulin issue and PCOS headache was actually assisting with the lean look a little bit more. So I've never looked as big because of the past muscle building. So the thing is, though, once you've built that muscle, and muscle can go away if you don't work out, all those things that are out there. But the advantage to that is that regardless, let's say if the muscle melts or something like that, the muscle has memory, and it can resurface again when you start weightlifting again. And that is a key element. So weightlifting and cardio hand in hand, very beneficial. But for now, again, my interest is in having you heat up your system, gain some strength, and also benefit your insulin levels, which assists with this, benefit your energy. Weightlifting assists with this quicker, in my opinion, than cardio. And also, in terms of, there was something else with this, and I'm trying to remember, insulin resistance, your energy levels, and also, I guess, muscle, enhancing your muscle. Oh yes, bone density. Increasing your bone density as well, because with PCOS, we're also more susceptible to osteoporosis and everything else. right? And then sugar and diabetes and so forth. So with the weightlifting as well, I also want to add is that calorie-wise, in terms of carbohydrates, you can kind of have a little bit more when you're having more of a consistent weightlifting regimen, because you're having to burn so much that if you kind of had a little bit more calorie of carbohydrates, it's kind of okay. It burns quicker. So I'm not saying go crazy on the carbohydrates, and I'm not even talking about negative carbohydrates. I'm talking about a lot, regular carbohydrates. For those of you on a strict diet with very minimal carbohydrates, because I haven't spoken about that. I'm not talking about weight loss in general. Like, I'm speaking about getting a period. I'm just saying that in the future, this is also something you should consider. But right now, getting back to the main point, gluten-free, sugar-free. I'm not even touching dietary, things in terms of, how much carbs should you have and so forth. That's not even the concern. The concern is to get your period, so heating your system. So one of the recommendations that I have is these ankle weights. If you're starting off, one is, and also if you're not going to the gym or you're at home, whatever the situation is, you can put this around your ankles and do leg lifts, lift your leg. You can walk around the house with it, and it's giving you some resistance. You can do, squatting and kickbacks, all those things. You can also use it on if you're starting off, you can also use it on your, arm and do some bicep curls. You can also use this and do, overhead workout, and they do weigh, quite a bit. So it's quite helpful. What I like about this is for people who have PCOS and are disabled, or are, and anyone who's in an elderly, anyone who has been is currently physically incapable to, can use this sitting down with their arms around their legs. If their legs are still mobile, they can lift. So this stuff is great, and so you definitely can use this in a variety of ways. So in terms of lifting, as I mentioned before, you have to be challenged. So for me, this is what I do. I only do 5 to 10 minutes in the morning before I'm leaving for work, and that too when I remember, but I'm going to do more consistently and hopefully have results with that. But in terms of maintenance, 2 to 3 times a week. I use 15 pounds. I started at 10 and quickly jumped to 15, and that's my body. That's my history with weightlifting. I was able to do it within, I think, 3 weeks anyways. So because of my past history, it's okay. You can start at 5 and continue at 5 until you find the weights not so strong. Go to 8, keep with 8. If you don't find them as strong or challenging, go to 10, or go back and forth. And shocking your system is important too. So I do at times go to 10, 15, but mostly I stay at 15. So use the weights, and you can do a whole body workout even by, you can do a bicep curl and lift your legs up, and there's a variety of stuff you can see online. You can YouTube it, the information of posture, what you should be doing if you've never done this before. See a local trainer, but essentially you want to make your life easy. Do what's easy and realistic for you. If you can't afford the weights, if you are living around an area where you can find rocks and sand and fill them up in bags, do that. Cans, bottles with water. A lot of things can be done for weights. If you have young kids like toddlers running around, you can use them as a weight, and also do some lifts and so forth. If you don't want to use any, let's say, tool or anything like that to weight lift, you can use your own body weight. That's another thing. Yoga is great for that. You can do push-ups. You can also do, in terms of body weight, your own squats and tightening. Burpees is great, but in terms of, again, you want to get some weight on your arms, and push-ups is, I think, one of the powerful ones. For legs, I think squatting and being in that same position can also be quite amazing. But my push really is that you really get into that rhythm, a bit of resistance training 2 to 3 times a week for 5 minutes. 5 minutes is all I'm asking. Your body will heat up, you will feel more energetic, and you'll have more energy through the day, and your body will adjust itself for that. So menstruation regularity, resistance training, and I'm just even saying 5 minutes a day. You do more, awesome. But again, this is for people to pump them up, get them motivated. I was in a depressive zone for the longest time, and you know, finally figuring it out. I just want to be able to also share and say, you know, as a perfectionist, as a personality, as a perfectionist, it was the hardest thing ever to, what's the word, to continue and to continually care about even care about myself, because it didn't. I wasn't feeling like I was able to do things perfectly, and that became my problem. So in this case, if you're used to saying, well, geez, 5 minutes is nothing, that's not perfect. This is not a proper workout. No, get rid of that idea. Do 5-10 minutes. It's those small, consistent increments that will make a difference. And I'm sorry if I'm sounding a little bit lectury. This is such a big deal to me because it was one of the biggest pieces. Before, however, this was not going to matter if you don't get rid of the sugar and if you don't get rid of the gluten. This is really not going to matter. Again, I'm sharing as a puzzle the information to you, and you can do as you wish. But I want everyone to have the menstruation. I want everyone to do well. And if you're still stuck on, if you're still stuck with menstruation, even with the parsley tea, I recommend all of the things I've said in phase 1 and continuing in phase 2. This should help you. Okay, lots of love and support, always sending positive energies, and I'm hoping all of us women, you know, finally balance out together. All right, I need to go to work, so take care, and I will talk to you guys soon.